Hey, so today I'm going to teach you a couple of different, or give you a couple of different options for dealing with your ends. This pattern in particular is the Sedona pullover, so these instructions will be more catered towards this sweater, but could easily be used for other projects. So if you're interested in this sweater at all, I've got it linked below, but otherwise, we'll just get right into it here. So doing crochet stripes can sometimes be really intimidating or tedious when you've got all of these ends to deal with. Especially, I'm working with 10 different colors here, so it's not easy to just carry the yarn every other row, which you could do. But with this one, I've got 10 different colored stripes, so that's a lot, and it's a lot of ends to deal with. So on this sweater, I am working on seaming the front and the back panels together. So this top one is the front panel and this back one is the back panel. And so my right sides, you can see these stripes are really even here. In the back side, you can see there's like a break in the stripe here. So I've got my back side or wrong side out and my two right sides facing each other. So there's a couple of ways to deal with this depending on how you want to go about it, or how much patience you have, or how much you are picky about the end result of what your side seam looks like. So when you started the pattern, I gave you the instruction to leave like 1 yard of tail to seam up your side. So you can, one, use this tail, ignore these essentially, and just seam around them and do a whip stitch all the way up to where the pattern indicates for your arm opening. So that's one way to do it. And I'm not going to show you how to do that because it's pretty simple. It's just a standard seam, whip stitch through the sides, match up your stripes, and just go all the way up. However, the alternative is to use these ends. If you left long enough ends, you can use those to seam your side. And the reason for doing that would be, since this is a contrasting yarn, or selecting one color to go all throughout here, it's going to contrast at some point. So you're going to be able to see the yarn color peek out a little bit all the way up the seam. It's the easier method, and it's the kind of like just the simpler way to do it. But me, I'm a little bit pickier, so that's why I'm going to show you this alternate method. So what instead you could do is, I'm actually going to use this long tail to do the first one. So you're going to use the color for each stripe, the corresponding tail for each stripe. So this tail will be used for this color, then you're going to pull these tails, use that for that color, and so on and so forth. So, but to start out, I'm just going to use this long tail for this first foundation single crochet row. So and then I'm just gonna go through, I like to make sure, if I can, that there's like 2 loops on there. And then we're just gonna go through here. So that first row is done. But from here on out, I'm gonna put this one aside, take it off my needle, and then I'm going to select the next one, which is this one, the next tail of color, this would be color B. And I'm going to put that on there, and I'm going to go I'm going to use this stripe and I'm going to go through twice here. So, actually, is that the right one? That's not the right one. It's this one. Sorry, this is the next one. I feel messed up here. Some of this is messed up. Hold on. I did a little bit of a practice before I did this, so these are a little not quite where they should be. Okay, sorry. Okay, so you're going to take the next one that's coming out here, which for me is actually this one, and put that on your needle. And now you're going to whip stitch twice through here in 2 different spots, and you can kind of select wherever you want. Essentially what you get, and it's really hard to see with all of these tails, so I'm sorry, but the edge of this has a kind of a zigzag pattern, so it comes bumps out and under, out and under, so it's kind of like a hill and a valley. So you've got a hill, a valley, a hill, a valley, a hill, and a valley, and you've got a corresponding valley with a hill on this side. So you want to make sure they're matched up so that that hill goes inside this valley, and I hope that makes sense. So I just go under 2 loops and then select a corresponding 2 loops on the other side. And then we're going to go around again, find 2 loops, and then go on the corresponding side, and then kind of snug that. So that's the first stripe done. And then we're going to move on to the next one, which is this color C, which is this lavender lilac color. And we're going to put this on our needle, and we're going to do the same thing. So you're going to find 2 loops, corresponding 2 loops in the other side, whip stitch that, and once again, two loops, corresponding on the other side, and tighten that. And then we'll move it onto this brown color. Put that on our needle and do the same thing. 2 loops, corresponding 2 loops, whip stitch, 2 loops, corresponding loops, and whip stitch. So this is what you're going to do all the way up, is every single one of these stripes. And so that will create a more seamless look to your sweater, and then this contrasting color won't show through. So what you're going to do, you'll still notice that you've got 2 tails left over after every single seaming, every single stripe. So what you can do is you can take these 2 loops, instead of weaving them in, which will save you time, tie them into a little knot, and then trim that knot once you've got it secure. That would be my highest recommendation. If you want, you can do a knot and then you can seam these ends in together as well. It's up to you. Just depends on how much security you want on your seam, and you know, like sometimes I'm kind of paranoid about my stuff falling apart, so sometimes I'll go the extra mile. So it's up to you. So then just knot all of these and trim the ends and you're good to go. And then I'll show you what the back side looks like so you can see how kind of clean that looks. So we've done this foundation row, and then we've done these 3 stripes, and you can see how clean that looks. You would hardly even know that it was really seamed together. But like I said, if you had used this color, you would see that color poking through just a little bit throughout the whole way. So it's up to you. Those are 2 methods, options for you when it comes to seaming your Sedona pullover. or any striped crochet work that you have. And I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.